And we is live.
We're live.
We're live. Welcome to
Mother and son making sense out of nonsense, plus more.
Plus More. Mother and son making sense out of nonsense. Plus More, episode 20. And
Yes.
before we go on, let me just say like and subscribe, like and subscribe.
Oh,
like and
great.
subscribe.
Yeah, right away. You know I love that.
Well, I'm going to have to share behind the scenes and welcome everyone that's watching. We're getting a lot of views.
Or so we'd like to think.
Well, I don't care, but I'm surprised. And what the hell are you people looking at?
What are you looking at? What are you listening to? Don't you have anything better to do than listen to us
Please,
talk about nonsense?
plus more.
Plus more. Well, speaking of nonsense, can I dive into my word?
Please do.
Because it's a word I know you'll like, and it's similar to our falderall word. It's balderdash. I knew you would like that.
And I've heard of balderdash before.
Yes.
Balderdash.
Balderdash, spelled bald, BALDER dash, DASH. Balderdash is something that doesn't make sense. Complete and utter nonsense. Balderdash is rather out of date and archaic word now with very British overtones.
Ooh, I would like to have a spot of tea with my balderdash. Ooh,
A bit of balderdash this morning.
a little balderdash. Balderdash.
Balderdash.
Oh, by the way, I wanted to share a little behind the scenes before we really get into the meat of the show and share my word of the day. I love balderdash. I'll remember that word.
Yes.
Balderdash reminds me of where am I? Of whippersnapper. Another
Is
archaic
that
word.
your official word?
No, that's not my official word. My official word is, but I was going to say something. I was going to give a little behind the scenes, which is I was warned, I got a warning before the show started that I have an edge.
Wow. Things really travel fast around here. It really wasn't. It wasn't a. Well, it wasn't a warning. It was a heads up, and it was for me. And see, look how light and fun I am now.
I'm waiting.
Is that you're waiting?
Yes.
I've been fun since the beginning of this show today, and I think, and this is a great topic too, of just naming it, clearing the air. It wasn't personal, and usually it is personal, directed at you, but today it wasn't. It was just an edge, and that's that.
I love that you didn't put a story to it, and that's one of my topics is these stories that are assigned to my emotions, stories assigned to my feelings as to why I'm feeling a certain way. I'd love to blow that right out of the water, but let's stay with me and go to my word of the day, which is
Parsimonious.
Ooh.
Parsimonious.
Parsimonious, spelled Parsimonious. And it's just another way that I can call somebody cheap.
Now that's a definition I can remember and stand behind.
Yes, parsimonious.
You parsimonious.
Parsimonious.
Your words are becoming like how my word of the days used to be, and mine are becoming like how yours were.
They are.
Yes, parsimony. That sounds like a word I would have chosen. Well, what a great word.
I'm not finished defining it. Exhibiting or marked by parsimony, especially frugal to the point of stinginess, sparing, restrained, chintzy, greedy, parsimonious.
I got it.
And sometimes you're parsimonious with your compliments.
I mean, how unparsimoniously do I have to be to let you
stop
know how
balderdash.
To let you know how beautiful you are, how wise you are, what a great mother you are, what a great mother you were.
Well, as my father would say, let me drag Ralph Norrington out of his grave. And as my father would say, tell me something I don't know.
Hmm. All right. Well, that was some fun little balderdash.
A lot of balderdash. And before we go on with the show, I want to share with you. I have a question. If I told you I have the answer to all of your problems, to all of your challenges for the rest of your life, I have it in my hand. I have the answer. Would you want to know what that is?
I would want to know what it is. Yes, I would want to know.
Do you have an idea?
Well, what are you going to break out your mirror?
No, I'm not.
Sorry, folks. Sorry to do this to you. She does this to everybody. Don't take it personally, which is one of my topics today.
I'm all ears. Let's go.
Well, it's funny. You've had the mirror flipped towards me. How about flipping the mirror towards you?
Well, we're both in the shot if you can't see.
That's true. And there's an infinity-ness to that shot where it keeps going on and on and on, where we keep looking and looking and looking inward, inward, and inward.
For all the answers, for all the solutions.
And that's a very special mirror. It does, we talk about things, but that does have a sentimental value to me. I recognize that mirror from when I was a little Natey.
Well, this mirror was my grandmother's mirror. This mirror is over 100 years old now. But I'm going to, now you just hit on another topic. What's sentimental? And would I be okay if this mirror broke? I lost this mirror. And the answer has to be yes. And there is that. Being sentimental is another program. And my favorite Buddha, the one I wear all the time, my favorite Buddha. What if I lost that? I'm over the whole sentimental. I practice not doing sentimental anymore.
Yeah, I'm hearing attachment too. I think we must have talked about, if we hadn't, we're going to, but attachment to anything, ideas, attachment to the future or the past, and things especially. And like you said, if it broke, lost it, whether it has sentimental value or monetary value or whatever it is, even the cats, if I lost the cats.
Well, let me say, one of the things you did mention, one of the biggest programs, the deepest programs, is the attachment to people.
Ooh.
People who need
love
people are the luckiest people in the world. And she sings too.
And she sings too. Well, that's part of the plus more that you didn't know you bargained for. And she sings too. Yeah.
Speaking of which, we've been not forgetting, but the creative corner, we have to come up with a song for the show.
Yes, creative corner. Okay, so maybe we'll do an intermission creative corner.
What?
You heard me. So we'll get on with the show, and then we'll take a little break to do creative corner.
Okay, and I thought of another segment too. How about a segment that just I call it "What's Stuck in My Craw." So
Love
a little
it.
bit of this a section of the show where it's legal to complain.
Oh, that just brought so much joy to my heart and body and mind. Yeah, I would love to. Just make sure you give me a timer when it's over, because I'll just go on and on and on.
As usual.
I set you up for that one.
Yes. Your topic.
Well, let's go to not taking things personally, and then I can tie in the cats as well. So I've had cats for about a year, and since then they have disobeyed my requests and orders to not
I have to jump in here because I remember when you got the little kittens, the little girls. And can you tell us what month that was? Was it March, April, May?
Well, it was May. They were born in March.
Okay, so you picked them up in May. But I have to say, I remember an early phone call. They were babies, but I remember early phone call, and he kept saying, "Hold, put your seatbelt on for this. They keep meowing."
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And that was wow, that was the least of my concerns. And it was a big deal. And it still is a big deal. When I told you one of them meows more than the other.
Can I just say that my son, oh, this way, my son, Nate over there, I hope he's not listening, control freak. Keep going. Oh, did
Well,
I say that?
this is too easy, but yes. Well, the apple didn't fall too far from that tree.
Well, that's true, but I realized that I needed to get rid of that probably about 2 decades ago, and that's why I'm on a different level than you.
2 decades ago. Yeah, right. Well, maybe you realized you needed to let go of it 2 decades ago, and it just took a few more decades to actually let go of it.
I'm not that old.
That's true. Anyways, that was good though. No, it's true. The meowing, the jumping on the table. They used to play with each other in the litter box. One would go in, the other one would stalk them and wait and play. I would try to stop that. So many things I've tried to stop and really get angry about, or at least I was angry. And I know this sounds crazy, but I did take it personally.
Number
Me-
one, that doesn't sound crazy. That is crazy.
Well, it is crazy because nothing is personal, and they're cats and they're young cats, and they weren't doing anything to mess up my clothes. They don't have some evil streak. They're not trying to tear up the apartment. They're not doing anything other than being themselves. And that's one of my big lessons with the cats is just a reminder that it's not personal.
I remember another phone call, and I thank God we weren't on FaceTime because I was just doing this. And you said, "I think they have it in for me."
I do remember saying that. I do. And I did believe that. Well, it absolutely, because something in their eyes, sometimes I think they're maybe more intelligent than they let on. Speechless. Well, because I told you I would say no jumping on the table. They would get off the table, and then as soon as I turned my back, they would jump on the table. So why are you doing that? You're doing that to me personally. It
Well,
seems like
no,
they're trying to make me great, like they're trying to bug me, like you do.
well, I don't try to bug you. Apparently, I do bug you. So there's no trying about it, just by my mere existence.
And you do try, but please continue.
Well, that's a perspective. But getting back, that's their very limited perspective. But I just love, because I've been an audience, and I love what those cats have been able to show you. The cats show you you.
Yes.
And you shared something about your energy getting angry and then seeing fear on their face and not wanting that to be an outcome. And Nathan, without the jokes, all of I mean this the self-awareness, the self-awareness of what is my energy bringing to any situation, whether it's cats, another person, even by yourself. What is my energy, what is it? And and I'm going to practice, because I practice not labeling my emotions or my feelings, but just practice, I'm feeling this way. And I can feel when like you said, tight, or I can feel relaxed. And I'm not going to put a judgment on it either, but I can definitely be aware of how I'm feeling.
Yes. And because part of the story, one of my stories is they make me angry. And they really, when your mirror is what's happening to me, I am angry, or like you said, just having an emotion that has nothing to do with them. It just reveals what's going on with me. And yes, I did say that to you with the fear that I saw in them. And if I can contribute to that one way or another, I'm going to try by noticing my emotion, because that anger thing really doesn't feel truthful to me. Getting so angry, which is a topic we can bounce around, but just this drama thing of that drama is entertainment. It is extra. It is on top. It is humanness, that drama. That's not really that spirit, soul-centered part of me. So just noticing when it's coming up, and then what do I want to do with it?
There's a person that I listen to from time to time, and I like listening to different people to get different lessons. But one of the things that he says, his name is Jesse Lee Peterson. He's a riot, and he has a speech impediment. Though he talks like this, but he's been on YouTube. He's an activist for 40 years at least. Anyway, he says that anger is from the devil, an ego, devil, whatever word you want to use. But he doesn't believe that when you are rested in peace, just like you said, that there is anger.
Yeah, my mind first went to animals, and I don't know if they get angry. I don't know if I would call that anger, but I know if they're defending their young or they're hunting, that energy, maybe it's not, I mean, the animals don't have a name for that. So maybe it's not anger. Maybe it's just that energy.
I'm going to label the energy intense. I'm just going to say that's intense energy, period.
Yes.
Next topic.
All right.
Good stuff though. So
Yes.
So the cats taught you, if we could summarize, not to take anything personally, that your anger is your responsibility.
That I am attached to drama, and to detach from, and to keep practicing detaching from things I thought were important, like the order of the home, or the cat litter, having boxes, just adding cats to the home, detaching from what I think it needs to be for me to have peace.
Detaching from expectations. Yeah. Wow. That's really good. Okay. You said something last week, and I want to go back to it. You were talking about sleep, and you said you changed your relationship with sleep. And I was curious. I wanted to hear, in a short period of time, if possible, not a long dissertation and a long monologue, with, wait for it, how have you changed your relationship with sleep?
Looking forward to it, changing my perspective, and finding the parts I like about sleep, rather than telling myself the stories of why it's challenging, what I don't like about it, and just changing the story and the perspective. And I was inspired by a new friend of mine when I was talking about sleep, and he said, I can't wait to go to sleep every night. We were talking about our alarm clocks, and he says, oh, isn't it the worst when the alarm is just a few minutes before you have to wake up? And I thought, no, that's great, because then I'm done with sleeping. He just loves more time to sleep. And I thought, wow, that's a perspective that I'd like to have.
I've never heard anybody love to go to sleep, and I've never heard anybody hating to go to sleep. It's just, sleep is just neutral for me. And one of the things that, because when I was younger, I used to sleep really well, naps every every weekend, 2 hour naps. In fact, when you were little, Nate, I just remember telling you in a stern kind of way, whatever you do, don't wake me up unless the house is burning down. Don't wake me up. Don't wake me up. And but now my point is I don't sleep like that anymore. I don't sleep. I don't take naps. My sleep isn't 8 hours. My sleep it varies every single night. Sometimes I wake up at 3:30 in the morning, sometimes 5. If I take a little, puff, 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 then I sleep a little bit later. Did I reveal that? Puff, puff, puff. Yes, I did.
Hey, this is us, honey. Welcome to the show.
Yes, reality,
Yes.
spirituality. But I just know this is my thing. My body will sleep when it's time to sleep. And this whole program where you have to get 8 hours of sleep and sleep is so important. I get that. But I am not going to be caught up in I'm doing myself damage. I'm doing myself harm if I don't sleep for 8 hours. I'm different. Everybody's going to be different at every different times in their lives. Our friend falls asleep sitting in a car, can fall asleep in a lobby. Oh, that can just, zonk out. I get actually jealous of people that can sleep so quickly and so deeply. Jealous. But yeah, I'm done with sleep even being a topic.
Well, I'll say this. I definitely want to get rid of the shame, the story.
Oh, sorry. I dropped something.
If you don't mind, I'd like to squeeze in a couple words before we go on to the next topic. But yes, I'd like to get to neutral, where it's not a topic. It doesn't have stories. It doesn't have problem. It's not up or down. It's just another thing. And but in the meantime, I do want to practice these negative stories I have around sleep and how challenging it is, because that's just doesn't have to be true. It really doesn't.
So you're reminding me of this big production I put on. Talk about drama. This big production I put on about getting either blood taken out, needle, when you have surgery, you get an IV. Oh God, a needle! You've got to know what you're doing. I mean, Nathan, it was just a lifetime of drama that ended. Well, I'm not going to say ended, but I noticed this was a couple months ago, and I had to get my blood drawn, and now my veins are very small. So you have to have a special needle. And now they're taking blood from my veins up here because you can see them. But I was making a big deal out of that forever. It was my own self-inflicted drama that I carried for as long as I needed to carry. When it's time for anything to be over, it's going to be over. I don't have to do anything. I got to work at it. No, it's going to be over naturally.
Oh, what a relief. Yeah, self-inflicted drama, letting it fade out when it's time. And when it's time doesn't even feel like a big celebration, big deal. Oh, finally. It's like it's time for the flower to bloom and we move on to the next season.
Next moment. And that's another thing, is just recover quickly, rejoice quickly in the moment. I'm not dragging yesterday's moment into my moment, right? Or yesterday's or last hour's moment. I'm going to practice not dragging a moment from yesterday into my present moment. And that's going to take me to my topic, which is future. Staying out of the future, not talking about the future unless I'm on a plane and I have a ticket. I'm going to Roseburg, Oregon in July, but I'm not thinking about Roseburg, Oregon in July until a couple of days and I start packing and I'm in Roseburg, Oregon. This future, it's just it's just an extra suitcase. Talk about overpacking. It's just an extra suitcase that I don't need to carry.
Extra suitcase, and it's just another thing that gets in the way of me in the moment, of me with whatever feeling, thought, story, vibration, whatever's happening in the moment. It's just another smoke in the way, suitcase I'm holding. I could just clear out. Detach. Another thing to detach from. And I do, and this story is really tough for me, but there is a story of it will be better in the future. And I actually believe that. I do believe it will be better for me. There is an upgrade or an expansion in every way for me in the future. And even if that is true, whether that's true or not, what does that do for me in the moment?
Well, I have, and this is why I'm on another level than you.
Right.
This is why I'm
Oh,
going to.
this is a good time to take a break.
All right, let's break.
Well, let's do, and I would like to hear your thought. And let's do our creative corner, see if that works right now.
Okay.
So we're talking about doing a song.
No, we're not talking about it. We have to come up with the song for Mother and Son Making Sense Out of Nonsense.
Thank you for the correction. So, and you're right, we are doing it. So what any thoughts? You're thinking just have the title and the song?
If your lips would stop moving, yes, I've got an idea.
Should I just leave the show and let you finish the rest?
No. I need you.
Well, okay, now I'm listening. People who need people. Okay,
are
yes.
the
luckiest
luckiest people in the world. Mother and Son. It's got to be a rap.
Rap, okay.
A rap song with a little melody with the rap. A melody and a rap.
A little like reality spirituality.
Yes. Mother and son making sense out of nonsense. Plus more.
Yeah,
Mother and son
making
sense out of nonsense.
Plus more.
Plus more. You got to have a pause.
I am pausing.
Not long enough.
Mother and son making sense out of nonsense. Plus more.
Plus more. Yes.
That's cool.
Let's do it one more time. Mother and
son making sense. Well, we're on a delay. It's never going to be synced up.
We're not on a delay.
We are on a delay.
Ready? Go.
Mother and son making sense
out of nonsense.
Plus more.
Plus more.
I like that. Do we need any other? Maybe we can do some little inserts like we did with reality spirituality.
Yes. She's a mother. He's a son. They're making sense out of nonsense.
Oh, maybe let's include word of the day. Balderdash, Falderal, Balbabal, Dobadal.
Yes. Balderdash, Falderal, tic-tac-toe. Yes.
Yes.
More nonsense.
Parsimonious. Yes. Harmonious.
Harmonious. Erroneous.
Erroneous. Yeah. Okay. I think we have something here.
Okay.
That's a good first step. Next.
Yeah. Yes. Are we going to remember that?
Well, we have it recorded if we don't, but I think we'll have to go back.
Okay. And so now we're on a different, let's do this topic of, can we complain about what's in my craw this week?
Okay. Yes. Stuck in my craw.
Yeah. What's stuck in my craw? I'm going to start only because I have some, well, being a happiness specialist, having stuff stuck in my craw, I still know that it's my responsibility. Oh, hold on a second. I woke up like this. I woke up like this.
Okay.
What's in my craw are people that say, and it's a new thing. It's a thing now. Well, I feel like, I'm feeling like, I feel like. They start their talk or their explanation, because I feel like. Your feelings have nothing to do with the truth. Boy, that sticks in my craw. And the other thing that sticks in my craw are people that keep saying we, and then we. Can you please speak for yourself? It's I, not we. Keep me out of your mouth.
Hmm. Well, I have to say I have the same craw. I don't want to hear I don't want to hear any wheeze. I really don't want to hear any use. I would like to hear eyes at best if I want to hear anything at all. I with the use. And just yesterday I was casually hanging out by the tennis courts, waiting for a court, and the people that were playing were in my business, trying to get me to play when the court was open. Hey, you, the court is open. It's time for you to do your court. I know when it's time for me to get on the court. How about you mind your own business? So that's also stuck in my craw. Let's see. You said the feelings. Yeah, I get that. Well, the feelings aren't truth. They're just feelings. And what else is? I was gonna say the same thing stuck in my craw. You. And I'll just go to drivers just because it's such an easy one. Slow drivers, aimless drivers, wild drivers.
Sounds like you're describing yourself.
You're right.
Touche. And the thing with driving is with these people that have road rage.
I do not have road rage. I have moments of raging briefly on the road.
That's a nice way of saying I have road rage, of dancing around the topic. If you have if there is a speck of sand in a glass of water, the glass of water is not clean and pure. You have a speck. You're a road rager.
Well, that's pretty high standards.
Own it.
I do own it. Listen, if we had to add up all your specs, we wouldn't even be here anymore.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I have road rage. Okay, are you happy now?
No, actually, I'm not, because I didn't like the way you danced around for another hour. Own it.
I got road rage. Well, I do know in certain moments, absolutely. If someone saw me with the horn, with the yelling, I did get in a altercation with another driver. This was a couple months ago. That did look like road rage.
Aren't you a yoga instructor? You know what's interesting? I don't know if the audience knows, but the yoga instructors are the most high-strung, anxiety-ridden people on the planet. If you want somebody that's stressed out, yoga instructor, just meet any of them, all of them.
Well, why do you think we're doing yoga?
It's not working.
That's what you think.
That's true. That is what I think.
Oh, the balderdash.
Okay, so back to not admitting road rage. So the whole road rage is just taking all these drivers, number one, personally, number two, being in their business, and number three, you're not in the mirror if you're looking at anybody else. And I get it. My road rage happens when I'm running late. So the blame still always comes on me if I'm running late and somebody's driving slow. But if I give myself enough time to drive.
Yeah, same with the time. So that's all on me. That's me with the drama. It's such an easy that's fast food drama is being late. I can pick that up anytime. I can make that up, whip it up so quick and have a little bite of drama, which is a tangent to my next topic, which is time. Just briefly with the cats, I was afraid that getting these cats would take away my time. I'm not going to have time to live my life, do whatever I want to do, extracurricular activities, free time, whatever. And what's really fascinating, which I don't quite understand, is I've actually become more productive since having the cats. And I have a story and a reason, but I just think that's a fascinating topic because, I'm obsessed with time, or I can have an obsession with time. And I have I feel more productive with my time since having them. That doesn't even make sense to me.
Which is a story.
Is the show over yet?
No, you have 10 more minutes with me.
Great.
But it is a story which
Well,
brings me.
what's the story?
The story is I'm more productive with the cats. That's a story.
Well, I wasn't doing this show before the cats, and now I have time to do the show with you. I've got time to teach. Well, it is a story, more productive, but there's some truth to it. I'm doing more things.
But it has nothing to do with the cats. That's the story. You're doing more things because it's time to do more things.
Oh. Well, that could be true.
That's why.
Right. Well, I look forward to getting to your level, maybe sometime in this lifetime.
Well, when you get to my level, you won't find me because I'll be at another level. Waiting for you to catch up.
As usual.
Yeah, so that whole productivity, because of the cat. See, that word "because" is the is the clue. Anytime I say "because," I know that whatever is after that word "because" is only one perspective.
That's true.
My ego only comes up with one perspective, so I already know it's ego authored. Anything ego author.
That's true. It is 1%. I thought you were going to say it's not true, and I was going to have to disagree. But yes, one perspective. That's very true.
Now, may I? Is it my turn or your turn?
Yeah, your turn.
Okay. Well, I would like to share.
We have
See
a
anything?
boo-boo.
I have a boo-boo. I almost cut off my finger. Accidentally. I have a brand new food processor, and I wasn't thinking, it was just different, and I wasn't thinking, and so brand new knife is the blades are sharp as hell, and I was moving the food around, and I'm looking at this deep cut, and I says no, which wouldn't stop bleeding. I mean, it was cut really deep. And I said, I just have to go to urgent care. So I had my hands, anytime you get a deep cut, you put a lot of pressure on it, stop the bleeding. So I was just driving with one hand. My point is this. I was calm, I was cool, I was matter of fact. And I go practice immediately to, it could be worse. Hi, little girl. Hey, little girl. Hey, little girl. Hey, Lexi. That's Lexi.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Lexi girl. Grandma's here. Excuse me. Grandma's here. Hello. I'm here. Hey, Lexi. It could be worse. And then when I got to the urgent care, she said, at least you didn't cut your nail. At least didn't get to the nail. My point is, this moment, next moment, keep it moving. Life is going to happen. And my energy, Nathan, is the same energy that you're feeling me right now.
Wow, what a great story. Yeah. Life does happen, and with quote unquote accidents, it feels like it's never a good time. It's never expected. It's never asked for or warranted. It's whatever's happening is happening, and then we work with what's going on in the moment. And I love the energy stayed calm, because that's a freak out. That's an invitation to freak out for me. And I had a cut before when I was chopping vegetables that was deeper than just a little scrape, and it was okay. This is a thing. I need to take care of this. And yeah.
Even your energy shifted with the story.
Yes.
Yeah. And so it's just, for me, my practice is, how do I remain in a state of neutrality? Meaning I'm not here and I'm not here. I'm staying neutral. And the other thing is, so I'm thinking, do I need stitches? Because it was deep. And no stitches. They just glued it. They glued it back. And the of course the nurse and the nurse's aide was bothering me. Sit down. Oh, sit down. No, I didn't feel like sitting down. I'm going to stand up. And then they had my finger soaking in this pink solution for 15 minutes to clean it out really good. And then they just glued it. And then I can't get it wet for 7 days. So it'll be 7 days next week. And I just a glove, one of those surgical gloves, and plus my kitchen glove. And that's how I take a
Oh,
shower.
that's smart. Yes. Yeah, neutral. Well, and my energy did change because
You see the because?
right. Well, right. It according to you, it was time for my energy to change.
Exactly. It was time for your energy to shift. Yes. Wow, that's deep. But it did shift without a story attached. It's really, in fact, I wrote this down. Here we go. I have so many stories about the family, me, family. I wrote this down last night. The problem is the story. The story is the reason why I'm feeling a certain way, when all of that isn't true. With my pea brain, how can I even comprehend what's going on? It's really these stories that I am noticing, witnessing, and I'm not going to try to let them, oh, got to let go of the story, but I know this is a story. I know this is a story, and I don't have any, and stories aren't the truth. I'm into the truth.
Well, I want to be abundant with my perspectives. I don't want to be parsimonious with my perspectives.
That was good.
Mm-hmm.
Parsimonious and
Parsimonious.
yes, parsimonious. Wow, that was really good. Well, you won on the word thing. What made you laugh this week? That's a question. I mean, when I say laugh, I mean pee in your pants laugh. That kind of laughter.
I'll tell you exactly what made me pee in my pants this week. I had a lot of laughter moments and some really good ones with you, but there was one moment where I was on the floor heaving, and it was by myself. There's a video I found online, and it's this girl who has Tourette's, and she was on the Dr. Phil show, and and she's on the show to bring awareness to her condition, and he asked, "Are you excited to be here?" And it's just a recipe for comedy, and especially with Dr. Phil. And then he said, "Are you excited?" She says, "Yeah, I'm excited to be here." And she squeezed in, "You're bald," in between her sentences.
Wait a minute. Can you give us a little sample of what happened, please? Can you act out some of the?
Yes. So she says, hi, really sweet. Hi. So good to be here. And he says, "So are you?" And he jumps in, "So are you?" He says, "You're bald." And then he continues his question. "So why are you here?" And that "you're bald" in between her, after her saying hi, had me on the floor. I watched it 50 times. I was heaving. And she does a couple other funny Tourette's moments. It's so funny to me because it's just but girl, it was a good one. And I literally was taken to the ground.
I have to say, why didn't you send me the link?
Yeah.
You're not bald.
No, I'm not. But that was Balderdash.
Wow. See that I love that you laughed that hard.
It just tickled me. It's just the whole thing, everything about it.
It was the seriousness and then the
Yes.
splattering out the words, the truth.
Yes, that's right. Seriousness, splattering out the truth, and then continuing like no one even heard it.
You're talking long. You're ugly like that,
Yes.
but you're not ugly. I'm thinking about Dr. Phil.
Yeah. Yeah. So
You're ugly.
so
You're
that
old.
was yeah, that was one of mine. What about you?
Laughing. I laugh. That's on my list of things to do every single day. Laughing. It's always a go-to with Steve Harvey on Family Feud. It's always a go-to on YouTube. And quite frankly, I watched our show last week, episode 19, just the first 6-7 minutes. It's gold, Jerry. I kept watching it over and over and over again when we were doing. And then in the middle of the show, when you got disgusted with me, which is even funnier, yes, I plan on it, I schedule it, laughter every single day.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a good place to conclude our show, if you ask me.
Well, it's not funny enough. You
Well,
really want to.
it has been funny enough. Let's not end on a dud, please.
Too late. Well, like and subscribe, like and subscribe, like and subscribe. And that's the end of today's show. Mother and son making sense out of nonsense, plus more. See you next week. And may you have as much balderdash as we have had experience in this. Where's the mouth in this episode? Balderdash, 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 balderdash.